I used to collect baseball cards as a kid. Well, I steal them and then I collect them. But it turned out that those cards ended up being worth nothing because this was the time of mass production known as the junk card era of the late 1980s. See, I got into the card hustle about a year too late. I said to myself, I will never, ever let this happen again. I mean, that doesn't really justify the fact that I was stealing, but hey, I was 12. The point is, this entrepreneurial spirit was there. Misguided maybe, but not without, potential. And over the years it grew, and it grew, and it grew. Until a couple years back, I found a new way to make a shit ton of money. So, like yachts with helicopters, and like little yachts tucked behind. So we could take the helicopter between the big lot into the little yacht, and then we were gonna do it all by flipping baseball cards. It's a great plan, right? And I'm not talking just baseball cards, like that cardboard junk that I stole, but high art baseball cards. The kind made by like top 20 visual artists, influencers in the entire country doing 20 limited edition iconic cards of proven baseball gods. Man, the synergy, right? It's like a tech, punk, hip-hop flavor of Gucci street appropriation. It's high art hustle. It's intersected with sports collectibles. Woo! These were game changers. These were disruptors, influencers who do like Nike gym shoes and then they tattoo Supreme to their ass. These folks were gonna hit pause on their digital hustle and get in on the card game. And I was gonna get in on the ground floor. Early in 2020. Yeah, like that 2020. When we were all nuts and playing with house money in the form of governmental stimulus. And I don't know about you, but I invested my pandemic relief money like Warren Buffett on my vision of the future. Because I know how economics works. Supply and demand, opportunity. You want to know how I did it? No. How I built my portfolio? Can I trust you? I mean, okay, just don't tell anyone. I mean, well, tell everyone and then tell everyone, but don't tell anyone. That's how this shit works, And then you get a yacht. See, the first step toward true economic freedom is to invest your unemployment balloon payments into baseball cards. At the exact moment when baseball cards were about to be cool again. See, every day during 2020, Topps trading cards, they are the OG, like sultans of sports swag. They would drop 2 iconic Hall of Fame players as a part of what they call Project 2020. And they would do it on their website. And for 72 hours, you could pre-order these art cards from their website. And the number of the cards that were pre-ordered during this time window, that's how many cards that would be in the print run forever. Confused? Great, that's how they fuck you. So, at first, Project 2020 was a flop, which is fucking great. So, see, January, February, before the end times were nigh, no one wanted anything to do with Sandy Koufax, Jackie Robinson, Mickey Mantle, in like neon, cartoon, comic book style art cards. No. Consequently, Topps was looking like its big move to make card collecting cool again was gonna tank. But what they didn't count on was that we were all about to collectively lose our minds. And as I said, have a lot of extra scratch and time to think about death. It started on Reddit, like all things do, right? A whisper here, a little hint of a conspiracy over there, and then boom, the resales started happening. See, because no one bought up those early cards, there was a limited supply. And then one tweet later from a crypto motherfucker with a bazillion devotees announced he was getting out of the market and moving his entire billion-dollar portfolio into sports memorabilia, and Project 2020 was the place to be. And the floodgates just opened. See, people were reselling these cards that they bought for like $15, and they were selling them for literally thousands on eBay. And then those cards that were for thousands would be sold again for even more, and again, even more. See, I'm no fool, right? I could see opportunity. I decided to go all in, and I would buy every one of those remaining 400 cards. Yeah, I did. I wasn't the only one. And I got in, what you say, a day too late, card 67 out of 400. See, the phenomenon that was Project 2020 was about to hit the stratosphere when it got a segment on the Today Show. Yeah, people still watch that. And then in the same week, a feature in Forbes magazine. Yeah, people still read that. And then the most important thing was this shit was starting to get shared, and then reshared, and then shared again, and then it just flooded the market with too many buyers looking to become quick sellers, and the price of the resales just started to stall. See, there was a moment right there when I could just, dump what I had, take a win. But I was a believer. I was committed. And besides, there was COVID, there was the Trump, there was the confusion, a year of racial reckoning. All this nostalgia and hope for yacht money was like a welcome fantasy and escape from that year that wasn't. And then suddenly, 99,171 people wanted a Ken Griffey Jr. card that looked like a Simpsons cartoon, and the sports card bubble just popped. And then the doom tweets started, and all of a sudden it was a buyer's market, big time crash, tank it, implosion, this capitalist construct will self-destruct in 10 minutes. Oh, and you probably have COVID. But come on, I was going to sell when the market was low. That's not what Warren Buffett does, right? And I'm really asking, because I'm not really good with arithmetic and basic economics. It just makes me feel like shame. I didn't sell. I wasn't one of those people. I hung in there, weathered the storm, and kept buying those cards every day till I had 400. Well, no, not all of them, just the ones that had no value. But I knew one day that market would recover. Well, it never recovered. And now I have a storage unit because the cards, they come in these little cases, and in the cases they get bubble wrapped. And then if you don't have the case and the bubbles and then the paper box that it comes in, some teenager will say it's not worth anything, which it isn't anyways. And then these things, they just need a lot of space. And that comes at a monthly cost. They call it a sunken cost. The zero-sum game of capitalism personified. And we're all entangled in it, and there is no way out. See, today the whole set of Project 2020 cards can be sold for maybe $400, which is 1/20th of the value of the whole thing, if you include shipping costs. The early cards are still worth selling, but not what they were, because at one time, they were selling for 6 figures, individually. And we spent a little over $3K. Ooh, I know. Wait. 31. No, sorry, 6K. 6. I told you I wasn't good at math. But here's the thing. It reignited my love of baseball cards. And my lady, she ended up buying me a few boxes from that junk card era for my birthday. The same cards that I stole, by the way, and gave away when their value was lost for mass production. Sensing a trend here, right? But she found them on the cheap. See, that's the good news with a market that's flooded. They're everywhere. And I got to open them, and I got to see my heroes, and I got to read all their stats, and look for that little column that quantifies the amount of cocaine and steroids they took in the season. You gotta the print's really small, though. I like organizing them. And I like getting my collection to the bare minimum and sharing them with friends. I collect out of joy. It's not praised that much, but it doesn't have to have value to have value. And yeah, we all gotta do something while we shelter in place and wait for this everything to pass. And it doesn't look like that's happening anytime soon. But serious, if you do know anyone that has 400 cards and a storage unit, it's got tremendous growth potential. I know a guy.